Hello, and welcome back to the Simplifiers Podcast, where we simplify work, life, and everything in between. I'm your host, Mary Baird, and I am so thrilled to be back again with you all. As you know, we've been featuring the very best of our all-star episodes recently on the podcast as a way to take a walk down memory lane and showcase some of my favorite conversations. Gosh, I've spoken to quite a few brilliant people, including Danielle LaPorte, Naz Beheshti, Dan Millman, Jovanka Ciares, and so many more since 2018. And guys, we're only getting started. On today's episode, I wanted to share what the Simplifiers podcast will look and feel like moving forward. And there are so many exciting updates. So let's dive in. You know, it's hard to believe that we are entering into season 7 on the podcast this year. We have released 334 full-length interview episodes and 133 additional bonus short-form episodes so far. So if you're a new listener or follower, my goodness, you have got a treasure trove of a library ready for you to explore. And the premise has always been simple. We take one topic, either in work or in life, and simplify it, breaking it down into easy to understand ways. So you not only know the what, like what is it and why is it so important right now, but also the how, simple, practical tips on how to test it out in your own work or life. And we have covered a wide range of topics so far. Everything from managing your budget to managing panic attacks, simplifying how to say no to hustle culture, and how to sleep better at night. And we've also covered a myriad of topics in business, from strategy to leadership development to planning impactful events that drive your greatest goals. There is so much in our archives for you guys to dive in, listen, and learn. But you might be curious about where we're headed next. Well, here's what we've learned from you, our listeners. You guys love the episodes where we focused on one of these 4 key areas. 1, time management, how to prioritize and focus on what's most important and get things done without the overwhelm. 2, goal setting and vision casting, how to define your goal, create an action plan, and go do the thing. 3, simplified self-care, how to look after yourself when working in a fast-paced, ever-changing work environment and avoiding burnout. And lastly, 4, belonging in the workplace, how to create a thriving employee experience, especially with the rise of AI and automation in the workplace. And I want to take a deeper dive into that last pillar for the next few months. It's everywhere in the news right now. Big tech companies are adopting AI and automation tools to improve efficiencies, reduce costs, and help their workforce be more productive to ultimately help them hit their revenue goals. And I heard a shocking stat from layoffs.fyi. Over 262,000 people were laid off in the tech industry in 2023 in the US alone. Now, of course, people are afraid of AI. There's an inherent fear in adopting a new technology that may one day take over your entire job. And I'd say that's a pretty big topic to simplify, and a necessary one too. So you, our listener, knows the ins and outs of AI and machine learning to be empowered and equipped as you navigate this in your own workplace. So here's the angle by which we're going to tackle it. People and culture, HR, leadership development, employee engagement, events, employee experience, and workplace experience. How is AI innovating these fields in your company? What are the latest and greatest AI tools out there that are going to help those departments ensure that their human workers are thriving? Also, what boundaries or SOPs or governance do we need to put around these new technologies to not only keep your company trade secrets safe, but also your customers' data safe and secure? What are your workers afraid of when it comes to adopting these new AI tools into their workflow? What sort of upskilling and talent development will your workers need in order to focus on higher yielding tasks, say like strategic planning or innovation, now that AI is going to handle some of their repetitive tasks? And how do you influence your executive and senior leadership on how and where AI is needed most in your organization? How does this AI thing affect your DEI initiatives, diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging? And what about your company culture overall? Man, the list goes on. And there are so many questions that I want to get answers for, things that I want to simplify down that I think would be useful for any listener out there who works at a company, big or small. I mean, no matter if you work inside people and culture or HR or not, these topics will be fascinating to listen to because let's face it, this technology affects us all. No matter if you do adopt it and face the growing pains of learning new things, or you stick your head in the ground and face potentially the layoffs and change management that comes when your competitors outpace you. I hope that you find these interviews engaging, interesting, and I also hope it sparks a new idea in you to try out in your workplace after you hear them. Now, we're going to be kicking off this brand new programming in February 2024, and I'm so excited to share it with you. As always, and just a reminder, we provide our podcast content in one of three ways. One, short, bite-sized interviews that are long enough to listen to on your commute. That way you can learn from a diverse range of brilliant thought leaders out there making big strides. Two, we've got quick solo bonus episodes. Now, these are great for when you're at the gym, and that's where you get to learn from me and the things that I've picked up along the way. Or three, and one of my favorites, guided visualizations. Now, these are best for those still moments when you close your eyes and my voice guides you to find the answers from within. Now, make sure to visit our brand spanking new website over at thesimplifiers.com to find the show notes and easy links to any resources or books or software that are out there that we share in the episodes. And I'm so excited about this new season. I'm so grateful you guys tune in and you tell your friends about us. Consider me your best mate who's going to ask all the questions that you've been super curious about, but didn't know where to ask. Hey, I got you, boo. Now, let the Simplifiers Podcast be your go-to resource for information, inspiration, and a spark of creativity. You can do this. I believe in you. It's time to simplify. Now, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to get more of this awesome goodness coming to you each and every week. Next week, I've got a brand new episode featuring Dr. Gary Chapman of the 5 Love Languages, looking at this framework with a whole new set of eyes and how it can be translated to the workplace, your family, and your relationships with those who are most important to you. And this month is focused on clarity and reemergence. Today is a fresh start and a new beginning. Your 1,000 daily choices is how you're going to get there. We will explore what that means on every level this month, both personally and professionally. And as always, please reach out, especially if you've got a specific idea or question that you'd like to see us cover on the Simplifiers Podcast. DM me over at a new place on LinkedIn at the Simplifiers and let's spark a conversation. Thank you so much. Also, big thanks to our undercover superheroes at the Simplifiers Podcast that help us create these episodes for you each and every week. Susan Marie, our podcast editor, Jeffrey Lynn, our video editor. Our advisory board includes Aubrey Nowitzki, Chris Justice, and George Mills. Big love to Dennis Coleman and Kristen Curtis as well. And I'm your host, Mary Baird. Thank you so much for listening and telling your peeps about us. As always, friends, keep things simple.